Yeah. Let me explain the story in a way that you can
I
understand.
hate you. I
So
know
there's this
exactly what
guy,
you're gonna do.
and he has a kid, right?
Yeah.
And this kid's like, dude, I want to fly. This guy's like, okay. So he makes fly, and then like they're flying, and then like the dad's like, dude, don't go too close to the sun or you'll explode. And he's like, all right. But then he does it anyway and explodes. And the dad's like, oh, that's sad.
That's upsetting. Yeah, and then they kiss at the end.
Yeah, that gives it the end.
Ooh, let me try to explain a movie to you. Jade didn't get it earlier. So there's this guy and this girl, and the guy says something to the girl that upsets her, and then the guy goes on a plane and beats up people, and then a random guy comes in and they start yelling at each other. Then the guy tries to have sex with the tranny, and then they kiss at the end.
What?
There's a guy, he's talking to a girl, and he says something mean to the girl or upsetting to the girl, and then he goes on a plane, beats up a bunch of people, mostly girls, and then he meets up with another guy. They start yelling a bunch, and then they kiss at the end.
I don't think I've
Oh
seen this
wait,
movie.
he also tried to have sex with a tranny, and then they kiss at the end.
I don't. What is it?
It's anger management.
What?
It's anger management. Adam Sandler.
Have I not seen that?
There's no way you haven't seen that.
I don't think I've seen that.
The guy, he says he
I,
yells at the
I
girl.
genuinely don't think I've seen. That's not ringing any bells
Adam Sandler yells
at
at the
all.
girl at the beginning about like getting a promotion, stuff like that. And then they go on a plane, and the stewardess won't give him headphones, so he touches her, and then he gets accused of beating her up. So he goes to anger management with a guy Jack Nicholson, who is absolutely insane. And then it turns out Jack Nicholson isn't insane, and then Jack Nicholson starts to date the girl, his girl, to fuck with him, and then they kiss at the end.
Dude, I don't think I've seen that.
How have you? It's on Netflix. You need to watch it.
I need to watch that. That's priority number
That's one
one.
of my favorite fucking movies.
How could I miss a classic Adam Sandler?
It's Jack Nicholson too, so I'm a little upset with it.
I'm mad at myself.
Alright, you describe a movie to me then. See if I get it.
Oh wow, I'm at a loss for words. Alright. Alright, so there's this guy, right? And he plays hockey. But then he's like not good at it. But then he plays golf.
I
And then
hate
this black
you
dude
so
dies.
much.
And it's sad because the black guy who died was like cool. So then he golfs some more and then wins a bunch of money and then they kiss at the end.
I know exactly what's gonna happen. I know exactly what's gonna happen. I'm gonna say Happy Gilmore, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, it's Billy Madison." So Billy Madison.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. This is getting annoying.
I know that's why you made it easy so you could do that.
I figured I'd stump you with the black guy. Okay, okay. I gotta think. Alright, so there's this guy named Bruce Wayne, and then, like, at the start,
Superman.
his parents die, and it's sad, so he's like, oh boy, that's sad. Then he, like, touches a bat, and he's like, oh, them's scary. So he's scared of bats, but then he makes himself a bat, and then he, like, goes around beating people up, but it's actually Adam West. And then they kiss at the end.
Superman.
No, Green Lantern.
Alright, so there's this guy. There's this guy, and he makes a machine that controls the weather, and then fucking food, and then stuff, and then they kiss at the end.
Die Hard.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Die Hard.
Die Hard. Okay, so there's this guy on Christmas, and welcome to the party, pal, and then they kiss at the end. This is like my
They were
favorite
playing.
meme. I want you to know that.
It's only like a group meme. Like it's only us to do it. That's what makes it
It-
great.
It's only me, you, and Jade, dude. I haven't joined a party once since that happened. That Jade's in,
And
where she's
not
like,
have
"All right,
that
Trevor, let
happen.
me tell you about this movie."
Alright, so there's this guy. I didn't even start.
Jade was explaining
Oh
the
yeah, she
Flip
really
movie.
poorly explained the movie.
The movie, no,
It was
to be fair,
Switch or something.
to be fair, that was actually very well explained, considering the whole movie is based off of exactly what she said. It just
I
sounded
know,
poor
but it was
because the
just the
movie
way
wasn't
that
that
it was
good.
said.
Yeah. And it's just like, and it flips perspective from him to her, and then her to him, and then they kiss at the end.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. Alright, alright. Alright, so there's this guy, and he's from Ghostbusters, but in this time he's not Ghostbusters. He's like a cat, and then he walks around and he's orange, and then like he gets lost and stuff, and then he tries to find food because he's an animal. And then like he finds his way home, and you know, I don't know the plot of Garfield, I can't do
I don't either. I knew what you were going for once you said Ghostbusters and Orange Cat. Alright, I got one. I got one. So there's this
Like I
guy.
wanted to keep going, but I genuinely forgot the plot of Garfield.
So there's this guy, and him and his father move, and then they meet a group of kids who tell them that way, and it was that way, and then they break his skateboard, and then he gets a new magic skateboard, and oh, there's a couch! And then they kiss at the end.
The movie was a masterpiece.
It was amazing. Alright, your turn. I'm gonna make a video out of just us doing this shit.
I just love it. I love when that chick is like sitting in the corner of the couch, like with her head tucked to her knees, while the guys are arguing. And then Jontron's like, she looks like a battered housewife.
Dude, when I get my own house, there's gonna be a couch in every closet. Every single closet. I don't think I can not
Just
do
open
this.
your closet, couch.
Couch falls out. Oh, that's embarrassing. I know how it feels. Alright, go.
What?
Your turn.
My turn?
Yeah, movies.
Alright, so there's this guy, and then this time he's not in Garfield. He's with three other people, and then like there's these spirits flying around, and they're like terrorizing things. So they're like, alright, we need to do something. So then they make vacuum cleaners, and then they kiss at the end.
Garfield.
Yes.
Alright, so there's this guy, and then there's this girl, and then this guy has a father, and this girl has a mother, and the father falls in love with the mother, and the mother falls in love with the father, and then the kids fall in love, and then the cat talks, only once though, and then the couch falls out, and then they kiss at the end.
That's the couch.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, your sister's a werewolf.
No? Oh. I hate you. You actually got me there. I was like, oh, no, you're wrong. Talking cat.
That was a great movie. I thought we were going for the joke names, Trevor. You're not supposed to actually say the name of the movie.
Sorry. Alright, your turn.
Alright. Let me think here. Alright, so there's this guy who like runs this group of people, and they're like bad people, but they're cool. And then he's like their father, but he's not really their father. He's more like God. So then he's like a god and a father. So then he becomes their godmother, and then they kiss at the end.
I genuinely have no idea what movie is this.
The Godfather.
Oh my
I was
god.
really poorly explaining it without really explaining it.
The way you're just like, oh, like he's a god, but not really, and he runs this group of people, and the Godfather, I'm like, is this a fucking religious movie?
Christ our Savior with Mel Gibson. That's just what I said.
Alright, so there's this group of kids, and
Mhm.
they have detention, but they don't they have fun in detention, and
I
then they,
just saw this movie too.
you know what, yeah. Alright, and then they
The
have fun.
Breakfast Club.
Yeah,
You
they
don't
have
even have to explain any further.
it's a pretty obvious. I love that movie. It's a good movie.
That was a
Also,
great movie.
also, like, why the hell is in the Breakfast Club? Why the hell is that one girl hotter than the other one? I mean, come on.
I don't know. Honestly, like, I don't know.
The black-haired girl was way hotter than the other one, but everyone went for the other one
By
for
a
some reason.
lot. Like, by a massive amount.
Absolutely, like,
It made me really want to put cereal in between two pieces of bread. But, you know, I can't eat bread anymore. Because cannibalism is wrong.
and a couch falls out. All right, your
Ba-doom.
turn. Your turn.
Um, hmm. What's a really great movie that deserves a good description?
I like how you're like a
I'll
good
never see one.
description.
Oh, you know what? No, I'm gonna talk about a cinematic masterpiece here. Alright, so there's this guy, and then his daughter gets taken, and then they kiss at the end.
Given. It's called Giving.
That is essentially the entire plot of the movie.
All right, here's a movie that
Just
deserves.
replace that with hug at the end, and that's the script.
Here's
Daughter gets taken, then they hug at the end.
here's a movie that deserves a fucking. It's one of my more favorite movies, and it deserves a good description. All right, so there's this guy, and he solves math problems, and then he also sweeps and mops, and then he goes to jail, and then therapy, and then he goes, oh, I don't love you, and then he goes, you don't know unless you try, Will, and then he's like, all right, bye. I gotta see about this girl. And then they kiss at the end.
Poor Will
Assuming,
hiding.
assuming they kiss at the end, because you never know. He's just driving a car at the end, going
Poor
to her.
Will hiding.
You got it.
I love that movie.
It's one of my favorite movies. It's one of the
It
best
was
Robin
easily
Williams.
one of my favorite movies.
It's one of the best Robin Williams movies out there, and that's saying a lot considering Robin Williams is Robin Williams.
Mm-hmm. Like, I think Aladdin was probably one of my favorite Disney movies, and it was purely because of him.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Like, if the genie wasn't your favorite character in that movie, you're just factually incorrect.
Well, it doesn't make any sense. Robin Williams does dramatic drama and comedy so fucking perfect. It's not even funny.
I saw one of his comedy specials, Weapons of Self-Destruction. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a movie from that Robin Williams is in that I didn't enjoy.
Yeah, he was just such a legend. No, damn it, he still is a legend.
Yeah. I said that actually to my sister once. I'm like, Robin Williams is one of the best actors, and she's like, no, you mean was one of the best actors? And I'm like, his movies are still there. He is one of the best actors.
I would have said, I meant what I said, and then smacked her, but then they kiss at the end.
Then they kiss at the end. All right, I think it's your turn.
Oh boy. I'm trying to think of the plot of one of the Power Rangers movies.
I'm not good with that. I've never really been a big fan of the Power Rangers.
Well, you're just wrong. Why, like, can I just not think of any movies? Oh, hold on. Alright, so there's this guy, and then, like, he goes off somewhere, but then gets lost. So they send this guy, and he brings a bunch of other guys, and it's like the army, and then they're like, hey, where'd this guy go? And then they keep looking for him, and then they find him, and they're like, hey, bud, alright, we're gonna bring you home now. And they're like, okay. And then they kiss at the end.
I hate you. That's one of my favorite movies too, actually.
That is my favorite movie.
Big time. I love it.
Like, I've given it a lot of thought, and I don't really know exact rankings, but I know that Saving Private Ryan is my favorite movie I've ever seen.
I'd have to agree. It's one of the best movies ever.
Yeah. Just personally, there's a lot of movies I really like, but that is the best one I've seen.
Alright, I have one then. There's this guy who goes to war, and then he goes, I'm a conscientious objector, and then he saves a bunch of people, and then they kiss at the end. Another one of my favorite movies.
That's a really good movie.
Another one of my favorite movies.
I was trying to, like, flip the words around, but I don't know how to make Hacksaw Ridge the opposite.
I have no idea. Bonesaw Bridge? Bonesaw...
Bonesaw Crevice.
Bonesaw Crevice?
Bonesaw Crevice.
Alright. I got one. Again, I'm sorry, it's my turn, but it was your turn, but now it's my turn.
Okay.
Alright, I got one. This is
I'm having
guy.
trouble coming up with anything.
This is guy who gets bit, and then he goes boom boom. Now he's wrestling, and Bonesaw is ready, and then they kiss at the end.
There's no better way you could have described it. I'm gonna write an entire article about why the entire Spider-Man series revolves around the Bonesaw fight. A lot of people think the climax is when he finally fights the villain, but actually the climax is towards the very start of the film. We're introduced to the character, Bonesaw, who proclaims he is indeed ready. You know, what are your thoughts on the original 3 Spider-Man movies? 'Cause
I
really
loved
liked
the
them.
first one. The second one I didn't like as much, and I liked-ish the third one.
I loved the first 2 ones, and I liked the third one not that much.
I liked the third one, but I didn't like it as much as the first 2, and I wasn't as big a fan of the second one as the first one.
I actually like the second one more.
But I think Tobey Maguire was honestly a really great pick for Spider-Man. And I
thought he was too. A lot of people make fun of him, but I'm like, I thought he was really good for it.
Oh, absolutely.
The only thing, and I agree, is that he was not play the role of the high schooler very well.
Yeah, he wasn't a teenager.
Like, Tom Holland is the perfect Spider-Man high schooler.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
but
literally nail on the head, but
yeah.
He does the adult Spider-Man really, really well.
Yeah, if they make like a live action Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse thing or anything like that, then if Tobey Maguire isn't in it, I'm gonna actually be kind of upset because
he was supposed to be into the Spider-Verse.
Is he not?
No.
They
were gonna have his voice. I can't remember why they changed it, but yeah, they were gonna have Tobey Maguire be one of the Spider-Men.
That's dumb. Also, I liked the idea that Spider-Man has the webs naturally, and not he doesn't have to get fucking canisters of webs. I'm not a big fan of that.
I'm not even sure like which one's canon anymore, but
it's, the canisters were canon before the regular ones, but the regular ones are canon in a different one.
Oh, yeah, I suppose there's different universes anyway in comics, but
yeah,
I do prefer the natural ones.
Because they made multiple variations of the Spider-Man comics. The first one, he did have canisters, But then they liked a lot of people like the regular, just natural better.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. Cause it's like, I don't know, it makes more sense.
His power is climbing
Like, I
walls.
feel like why would you even get super strength from a spider?
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense at all.
Like, web shooting at least makes sense.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't even have that in some iterations without technology.
Yeah.
Like, dude, so you're one of my favorite superheroes, but you don't make any sense.
Alright, you got another one or no?
It'd make more sense if he was bitten by an ant. Then it would make sense. Because they're, like, stupid strong.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Comparatively for their size.
Got another one?
And they should really make an Ant-Man. They would make a lot of money off that.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah.
I thought, in all honesty, I thought.
And then they could also make a guy who goes like really small. It'll be Water Bear Man.
In all honesty, I genuinely like thought Ant-Man was gonna be kind of dumb, but I liked it a lot.
Dude, I really loved Ant-Man. I love people like, oh, it's a heist movie. It's not a Marvel film. I'm like, it was good though. Like what?
Anyway.
I didn't like Ant-Man and the Wasp quite as much, but I thought that was a pretty solid film too.
Yeah. Anyway, you got another movie or no? Because if not, I got one.
I just legitimately just having like aneurysm. Can't think of any movies.
Alright, I got one. So there's these guys, and then they go up and they don't like bad people, so they go boom boom, and then they go a nomadi patre, and then bang bang father. Oh, my friend's dead. Oh, and then they kiss at the end.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
I still haven't watched the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Really?
I haven't watched the second one.
Really? It was better than part 2. You need to.
I haven't watched the second one either because I just didn't want to without watching the first one. But I never really got around to watching the first one.
Guardians of the Galaxy is one of my favorite Marvel films of all time.
Yeah. I heard it was really good.
I liked it more than Ant-Man. I would put it on par with Spider-Man, and I loved Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah. Alright. So, there's this guy. And he's like, oh, you whore. And then he's like, oh, you're my whore. And he's like, oh, don't fuck me. And then say hello to my little friend. Bye. Didn't make
God damn it.
Smooth neck. It's called smooth neck.
Huh?
It's called smooth neck.
Smooth what?
Smooth neck. The movie is called Smooth Neck. Don't I just
Smooth neck? Why can't I hear you anymore?
Hold on. Is that better?
Yeah.
Did you hear anything I said with the movie I just described?
I heard the description. I didn't hear what you said.
It's called Smooth Neck. It's called Smooth Neck.
Smooth Neck.
Yeah. A lot of people call it Scarface, but I call it Smooth Neck.
I was gonna call it Heel Nose, and I'm like, that's stupid.
Yeah, Smooth Neck isn't that good either, to be fair, but I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, like, how do you get the opposite of Scarface? I was thinking heel, but, like, that's not really the opposite of Scar.
Alright,
I guess smooth does make more sense in that context.
There's this family, okay? And then a kid can see things, and then the guy's like, oh, work, no play, and then tries to kill his family, and then freeze. And the kiss at the end. Freeze. And the kiss at the end. I'm making it shorter and shorter, and it bothers me, but I can't think of many things for these movies.
I know, right? Like, I've seen, like, so many movies, but I can't think of any of them now that I need to say them. Or the plot.
Alright, let's try this one. No, wait, no, that's not gonna be as funny. Never mind.
All right, I got a good one.
Okay, good, good,
All
good,
right,
good.
so there's like this guy who's bad, and then he does some bad, and then like makes this good guy mad. So like he goes and gets his buddies, and then all these good guys like go to swamp, go swamping, but then they get swamped, and then he like cracks his knuckles, and then people die, and then they kiss at the end.
I'm sorry. I did not get a single thing of that. I
Did I
just
lose you with swamp?
you lost me a little bit before Thwomp actually.
All right, so like there's this bad guy, okay, and he's like he could probably lift like 500 pounds. Like, this dude's pretty strong.
I
And
can
then
lift 500 pounds. It's not that strong.
he like 600 pounds. He's pretty strong. So he kills this guy, and then this other guy is like, oh no, why'd you kill that guy? And then he's like, cause I wanted to. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna go get my buddies. And he gets his buddies, and they're like, all right, we're gonna swamp you. But then they get swamped, and then he cracks his knuckles, and then people die. But then they kiss at the end. Also, one of my favorite movies.
DCN game.
Did you say DC and
DC's Endgame.
God damn it.
That is a really good movie, to be fair. I do love that movie.
Yeah, I'd probably put easily top 3 I've ever seen. That movie was like crazy when it came out. Like there was nobody that didn't see it.
Alright, I got one. So there's this guy, and he's living in an area that he doesn't know is an area. And he's like, oh, my dad's dead. And he's like, oh, dad? And he's like, wait, I'm in a TV show. And then kiss it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, God damn it. I'm trying to think of the opposite, but what is part of it's a name?
The Falseman TV show.
The Falseman.
The Falseman movie. Falseman movie. False woman movie.
Falseman movie.
False girl movie. The False girl movie.
Alright. I saw that movie in my English class. I really liked it. It got me a thinking, so I started looking for microphones in my coffee cups.
I've done the same thing. I look for
I'm like,
cameras
yeah,
like
I would be.
hold on. I want to clarify. I look for cameras everywhere, and every once in a while, I just wink at nothing to see if it just in case I am. I mean, whenever whenever I see an actual camera, I usually wink at it and then get out of sight of it for like 10 minutes and then come back. Just to
I
like
do
piss
that too.
off the people.
I usually wave though.
Dude,
really quickly get out of line of sight.
I was I have one of the longest I've ever went without blinking. I was on the bus, and the whole ride home, for like 10 to 15 minutes of the ride, I was just staring at the camera. And then like at minute 5 or 6, I can't remember what it was, I ended up like having to blink, and I was like squinting slowly and surely. And then like at 7 minutes, I actually did blink. That's the longest I've ever went without blinking, and I was counting the entire time.
You stared at this the bus camera for 15 minutes. I really want to do that thing that Dennis does
That's
for
exactly
2
why I
hours.
wanted
He
to do it,
just
but I can't.
slumped down for 2 hours, didn't blink or move.
That's exactly what I was going for, but I mean, I couldn't do that for 2 hours.
I can't like hold my eyes open; they burn really fast. I'm decent at staring contests because when there's competition involved, I get more motivated. But I
Yeah.
can stay really still for a long time, but
Yeah.